Gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Troll Lord Games Month continues as today I will be reviewing Engineering Dungeons from the aforementioned Troll Lord Games. This is written by Robert Doyle with artwork provided by Jason Walton, Peter Bradley, Sarah Walker, and Mark Allen. This 28-page softcover carries an MSRP of $9.99. You can grab it in PDF. In fact, right now it's part of a bundle over at DriveThruRPG with Engineering Castles for only $5. So that is a rocking deal. Now, I should mention the image you're looking at right now. That is the new trade dress for Engineering Dungeons. As we swing on over to the other camera, you will notice that this does not have that trade dress, but have no fear. It is the same exact book. I honestly think that the trade dress is probably only out on the PDF right now, that there has not been a new print run of Engineering Dungeons. So I did want to mention that if you notice the difference, it's the same booklet. Don't worry. Also, want to mention that my friends over at Troll Lord Games were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. But neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this review with you. These days, it's important you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of this booklet, but I do want to give you a good feel for what you're going to find inside Engineering Dungeons. So the first thing I'll mention is that using engineering in the title might throw some people off a little bit. I don't want to say it's misleading because it's truly not. But this is random generation tables and information to create dungeons. So there isn't necessarily a lot of information about the engineering portion of dungeons, but there is a lot of cool information in here, a lot of really excellent tables for you to utilize as far as creating your own dungeons. Now, I will point out if you are just going to randomly roll all of this up, your dungeon will come across as being extremely random. Probably feel kind of like a funhouse dungeon in some ways. So I would maybe not recommend utilizing this to the letter, but there's a lot of inspiration in here. And there's a lot of things that you can randomly roll up for your dungeons. So we've got tables about how many levels, how many entrances, how old is the dungeon, who was it created by, what is the purpose of this originally? So it could be something that's not that old, and maybe it recently was used as a prison or for torture. Or maybe this is millennia old. So we've got all of that. We've got different lists of different traps that you can use, non-lethal and lethal. One of the things I really like are the random tables to populate the dungeon with various different creatures. And this is broken down by terrain and region. So we have like hot desert, cold desert, plains, hills, jungle. Then we also have some subtables here for some of the results in these tables. So NPCs, dragons, elementals, and so forth. We'll start getting into furnishings within the dungeon, various different room types, room sizes, room shapes. And then we'll wrap up with a torture chamber table, which I thought was pretty wild. And then some examples of different dungeons, which are essentially single level dungeons. But as you can see, this is what you could create just by randomly rolling up your dungeons. So a lot of information in here. And one thing I also appreciate is that it's not just random tables, but we also get information about the entries in the random tables. So I like that quite a bit as well. All right, so that's a quick peek inside Engineering Dungeons. Let's swing on over to the other camera. I'm going to share my final thoughts and give this a review score. So as far as production quality, pretty nice. Strangely enough, this has kind of a very matte parchment sort of paper to it, which is okay. I mean, it's fine, but it's a little different than the Engineering Castles book, which has kind of the same paper stock, but not saddle stitched. So kind of weird, kind of odd. It's kind of a thing with Troll Lord games that it's probably because they don't have a lot of people working for the company and everybody's always busy working on different things. Because keep in mind, Troll Lord Games releases a lot of stuff. It's not uniform though. It's kind of weird. So some things are presented certain ways, other things are presented in other ways, and sometimes they just don't feel like they're all part of, say, Castles and Crusades. This is one of those cases. But as far as the production quality, it's really nice. Very nicely done. It's 28 pages. It'll hold up pretty well to repeated use as you're creating dungeons. I would say maybe not on the fly. I don't think I would refer to this booklet to create dungeons on the fly, but planning ahead and building and engineering my own dungeons, I could certainly see utilizing this. A lot of good information, a lot of cool tables. So I actually like engineering dungeons quite a bit. I think it is well worth the pickup. And at the moment, you can get that bundle for $5 over at DriveThruRPG. I will actually have a link to that in the show notes for you. You can score both Engineering Dungeons and Engineering Castles for $5. It's a pretty rocking deal. And of course, I'm actually going to have a review of Engineering Castles for you tomorrow. So be sure to come back and take a peek at that. So on a score of 0 to 10, I give Engineering Dungeons from Troll Lord Games a 7 out of 10. I definitely think it should be part of your collection as a game master if you are the type of person who likes to create dungeons. A lot of cool information in here. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this quick review, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching. And until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.